Good morning, students. Now we are going to start a new unit of biology, that is diversity in the living world. And in this unit, we have the first chapter named as the living world. So, in the living world, we will learn about all the living organisms, difference between living and non-living organisms, and what are the essential or exclusive characteristics of a living being. Now let's see what is the first characteristic of a living organism. Now the first characteristic of a living organism is living thing can always grow. Now what do you mean by grow? Grow means increase in mass, increase in size, increase in number of cells. So that is the meaning of growth. So living things have the property to grow. Now as we can see in the diagram that it is first in the first diagram you can see that it is given developmental stages of a butterfly. Now developmental stages, that means how the butterfly is growing. Now see from the egg it becomes the caterpillar, and from the caterpillar it becomes the cocoon stages, and from this cocoon stage a new butterfly is born. Now this is growth. Then in the second pic we can see that there is a seed which is growing its root, that is radicle. After that it is growing its shoot, that is by plumule, and it is giving rise to a new plant. So that means living being is having the capacity to grow. Now one more thing, is this a defining characteristics of a living organism? Now if you are going to divide only a living organism by seeing the growth property, is it that true? Now what about the mountains? Mountains are also growing, right? But is this a living thing? The answer is no. So why? If the mountain is also growing and the trees is also growing. Now the trees can be considered as a living organism, but the mountain is not. Why? Because the growth which we are seeing, it is just the multiplication of the cells, which is taking internal in the inside the body of the organism or inside the cell. But in the mountain, when the mountain is growing, here in the surface the extra sedimentary rocks, or you can say the sands, are coming and then covering the mountain part, and then the mountain size is growing. That means here the growth is external. So if the growth is external, so that doesn't mean that inside that organism some activity has taken place. So that is not a living organism. But as we can see in the diagram, in the plant, in the butterfly, for example, in any human beings also, in a small bacterial cell also, there is a metabolism taking place inside the cell. That means it is having the capacity to grow. So this is considered as a living organism. So by comparing only the growth phase, we could not define a characteristic of a living organism. So growth is not an exclusive property of a living organism. So next character is living things can reproduce. So what do you mean by reproduce or reproduction? Production means producing offspring of its own kind. When an organism is doing reproduction, it is producing its offspring for the continuation of its generation. For example, a human being is also doing reproduction, plant is also doing reproduction, an organism, single cell organism is also doing reproduction. Now reproduction can be taken place in two ways, sexual as well as asexual. Now, in asexual reproduction, only one single parent is involved, and in sexual reproduction, two parents are involved, that is male and female. So, living things can reproduce. Reproduce means it is growing its or developing its own similar kind of species. So this is a one characteristic of reproduction. Now as we can see in the diagram that frog, from this frog post, it has laid some eggs. Now these eggs are again converted into the larval stage. Then it becomes the tadpole. From tadpole it becomes the young frog, and from then young frog again becomes the adult frog. Now this is the reproduction. It is going to lay its eggs. Now, can this is a defining characteristic? क्या हम reproduction को defining characteristic बोल सकते हैं? Is it an exclusive characteristic? The answer is no. Now why? Suppose a mule. I think you all know about a mule. This is a cross of a horse and a donkey. Now mule never reproduce, but still it is living. Now why mule never reproduce? Because it is born like this, it is sterilized. It cannot produce its own kind. Now even in some human beings also, due to some internal problem, female could not reproduce. No, but still she is living. So that is why growth and reproduction could not be considered as a defining characteristic of a living organism. Next characteristic of a living organism can be defined as a metabolism. Now, living things can be metabolism. Now, what do you mean by metabolism? That is, all the reactions which are taking place inside the body of a cell or an organism. Okay, एक सेल के अंदर जब कुछ reactions चल रहे हैं for any purpose like respiration, digestion, many processes are there, right? Digestion, excretion, respiration. So for all processes to occur, we need some energy, and from this, for the obtainment of the energy, we need to um, have food, and actually from food, the food is broken down into smaller pieces, and it is going to release the energy. So this all the things are taking place. These are actually the reactions which are taking place inside the cell of of an organism or inside an organ, specific organ of a body. Now this is known as metabolism. We also know about that the reactions of chemistry. Chemistry also we have gone through many reactions, exothermic, endothermic reaction. So that is different. Now, metabolism is taking place only in a living organism because it is taking place inside the cell, inside the body of an organism. So, metabolism can be considered as a defining property of a living organism. Now, the next characteristics of a living organism is living things always responds to stimuli. Now, what is the meaning of stimuli? Stimuli, that is about the awareness of the external environment, what is being taking place or what is happening to you, even you can or a living organism can respond to it. Suppose you are reading a book with full concentration, but and someone is passing near to you. Now, by without looking into him, you can also feel it that someone is being passed from your place. Now, this is what? This is awareness to the external environment. We can see in the diagram that a person is touching a hot pan. Now, when a person is touching this hot pan, that means without any protection, his hand gets burned. Burning sensation is there. So that means what? The person is feeling hot. So this is the awareness of the external environment. And the second picture also we can see the plant is also responding. I think you all know about the touch me not plant. So touch me not plant, whenever we are going to touch it, it is going to shrink its leaves. The leaves are going to be shrinked. that is a different phenomenon, but it is also one phenomenon is respond to stimuli. It shrink. Now why does it shrink? Because it is responding to your touch stimuli. Now this type of awareness is only seen in the living organism. Now you may also have question that if a person is in coma and he is not aware of the external environment, then will it be a living one or non-living? Now, if a person is in coma, it is responding to the injections. Obviously, the body is responding, though his sense organs are not working, but the cells which are present inside that human body, the cells are responding. He is able to take his medicine, he is able to take his injections. So some metabolic activities are taking place there. Now when all these metabolic activities will be stopped, now that organism will be declared as a dead one. But as it is responding, as the body is responding to the injections given by the doctor, this is considered as a living organism. So response to stimuli is a defining property of a living organism. So living organism always responds to stimuli. So this is the summary what we have learned today, that living organism can grow, living organism can reproduce, living organism is able to do metabolism, and living organism can also respond to environmental stimuli. These are the characteristics of a living organism, though some of the characteristics like growth, then reproduction is not a defining or an exclusive characteristics of a living organism, but the response to stimuli, that is awareness of the external environment, and about metabolism, that is the biochemical reactions which occur inside the body of an organism, are the most exclusive characteristics of a living organism, and these characteristics is not shown by any type of non-living object. That's all for today's class. Hope you know about the exclusive and interesting characteristics of a living organism, and now you can differentiate between the living as well as the non-living. In the next class, we will continue with the next topic. So, thank you and have a nice day.